fulfillment of your dreams starts with the first step. That's why si Pinay in Action tumatakbo, active ka. Kasi napakadaling mangarap. Go ahead and dream. Because in a way, I can say it starts with the dream, no? Have that dream. But the active part starts with the first step. And that's why Pinay in Action is a woman who is running. If you take that first step, if you keep on running, keep your eyes on the goal, you can really achieve a lot of things. Hi, this is Pia Cayetano. Welcome to my podcast, My Daily Race. Welcome back. Today we have a very interesting topic. It's a question I commonly get asked. Madalas talaga ako natatanong na parang, can we do it all? Can women do it all? Is it possible? Can I do it all? The answer is yes, but. And there's a big but. And that's what we're going to talk about. Yes, but what? Babae ka, lalaki ka. I would think we all have goals in life, right? But precisely because I'm a woman, I'm a mother, then this may be more relevant para sa mga babae, para sa mga nanay, because society puts upon us more, and I really say more responsibilities. I'll add my Bisaya, Tagalog, okay, so wherever you're from, mga kababayan, I hear you, I see you, and I want to share these experiences with you. Duha ang role ng kababaihan. We have two roles. No? We have the roles in the home and outside of the home. All over the world, that's the dual role and the dual, sometimes it's called the dual burden of women in society, because with hardships in life, we have to help in and become breadwinners, but also our roles in the home as the mothers, ang ilaw ng tahanan, it doesn't change. So that's why there's a double burden on women. And that's what I want to discuss. Is it possible to do it all? So let's start with our upbringing. Most women, most girls are given responsibilities. If you're the eldest like me, you're the ate, we have a lot of responsibilities. Daghan na ato mga responsibilities sa atong balay. And we grew up that way, and we take it for granted that those are responsibilities society puts upon us. And for me, I embrace it. I have to admit, I embrace it. It's okay with me. There were times in my life that it has been very burdensome to be an ate. My mom and dad were both working, and my dad was the disciplinarian in our family. So sometimes uuwi siya and nakakulong ako sa kwarto because nag-aaway yung mga kapatid kong lalaki at hindi nakikinig sa akin. That's a part of my life experiences being the ate. And up to now, I'm still the ate. And up to now, it gives me my share of problems. So many women have that dual role, even if they are not the ate. The mother, even the father tends to look at the female in the house to do errands, to do chores, sometimes to even discipline the younger siblings, and so on and so forth. So by the time we finish college, if we finish college, that's already ingrained in our psyche, our role as women in our families and in our societies. And then we start working, tapos andun pa rin yung responsibilities natin sa family, which is good. I feel like that's what makes us a closely knitted family, which is parts of the fabric of Filipino society. That's the first challenge that many coming of age women would face, no? Yung when they start their own family and they still have obligations in their other family, in their extended family. Minsan nagpapaaral, it's very common, nagpapaaral ng anak, ng kapatid, ng pinsan, ng anak ng pinsan, while addressing their own responsibilities. For me, early in life na, as I said, I have always been an ate. That's ingrained. That's part of my persona. I cannot take that away from me, from who I am. And so, early in life, natuto na ako mag-juggle. So, juggling is part of our responsibilities. And in my case, I can say na I was blessed because the parents I have, parang na-nurture nila yung dalawang sides ko. Yung nanay ko was very nurturing, loving. Pag masyadong mahirap na, sasabihin niya, it's okay, slow down. Tapos yung tatay ko naman, go, go, go. So yun yung dalawang forces na nakaka-affect sa buhay ko. Yung sasabihin sa akin na it's okay. Di naman it's okay to fail. Pero really, parang gano'n na nga, na pag hindi mo kaya, di hindi mo kaya. Yung tatay ko naman na, hindi mo kaya, sige, go pa, kasi kaya mo. So, those were the influences I had in my life. And years later, I could really feel this as I decided, will I try out for the UP volleyball team? So sa mami ko, ay, sige, pag nahirapan ka, wag na. Tapos yung tatay ko naman, don't be a quitter, tuloy mo yan. And then later on in law school, ganun na ganun din. Hirap na hirap ako sa law school in my first year. And my mom would be very nurturing. Oh, mag-nap ka, magpahinga ka, pagod na pagod ka na. Tapos yung tatay ko naman, hindi naman siya, hindi siya, what would I say? Hindi siya negative, but he would just always be like, kaya mo yan, kaya mo yan. So, ang naging personality ko is kaya ko. But then I also found in myself that ability to slow down, my ability to detach if sumosobra na yung pressure, timing, and prioritization. That's what I learned out of all that. So when I became a mother, I was already a lawyer working full-time as a lawyer sa isang law office. And then I had my own kids. And then I also started a business. And I also had my own personal pursuits as a fitness advocate. No, I didn't look at myself as a fitness advocate, pero sa personal ko lang na buhay, runner ako. And hindi nawala yon. Gusto ko parating tumatakbo ko, fit ako. So, nag-find time ako para sa lahat na yan. So, many years later, nung naging senator na ako, Pinay in Action was born. And Pinay in Action is what it says it is. Pilipina na active, na gumagawa ng mga bagay na makabuluhan. Active tayo, hindi tayo passive, no? It's the distinction between passive and active. Action-oriented. We do things, we get things done. And yung logo, a girl that's running, no? Symbolic yan ng get it done, di ba? Do it. Parang mag-action ka. Di ba sabi nga nila, fulfillment of your dreams starts with the first step. That's why si Pinay in Action tumatakbo, active ka. Kasi napakadaling mangarap. In fact, kasama din yan sa isang topic ko parate when I speak to people is go ahead and dream. Because in a way, I can say it starts with the dream, no? Have that dream. But the active part starts with the first step. And that's why Pinay in Action is a woman who is running. A woman who is running. And that's what I want to talk about now. So can you do it all if you take that first step? If you keep on running, keep your eyes on the goal, you can really achieve a lot of things. So I guess the important question to ask then is, will you be able to achieve your goals all at the same time? That might be a little bit difficult because there's only 24 hours in a day. You're only one person, but it is very possible to have a different sets of goals. You really just have to decide what are your priorities. So if I were now to tell you how would you achieve all these goals, then let's break it down. Number one, you have to have that dream. And again, I go back to that Pinay in Action logo where you're moving forward, diba? You're moving towards your dream. So have that dream. Keep on dreaming. And don't forget, dreams sometimes change, okay? You just have to take that first step, whatever it is. If it's the business, then write out the business plan. If it's fitness, just click on that workout for 10 minutes or 20 minutes. If it's to run a marathon, then click on how to finish a marathon. And those are the first steps that you need to take. So then the next question is, how would you do this if you still have your regular life, right? Like if you're a mother, then maybe you have kids, you have a husband. If you're single, maybe you don't have kids, but you have to work overtime. Your career is very important to you. So how do you squeeze in this fitness goal? The next step is you now have to prioritize. So if you're saying, I work 40 hours a week, so what time is left for you? So that's where you plan it out a little bit. You have 40 hours of working a week. So your weekend is free. So you can dedicate your weekend to at least some workout. The point is, prioritize what you want to achieve, whether it's for the next quarter, the next 6 months, or for the next year. So again, I'll repeat, if you're a student, like me, when I was a student, I wanted to be fit. So I included 1 hour of running almost every day. Why almost every day? Well, because I'm a long distance runner, it's a little bit hard on your body if you run every day. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but if you run 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, it's good to have a rest day. So in my case, I think at that time I was running around 5 to 6 times a week. I had before I used to run at 5 p.m. And then one semester I had night classes that started at 5. And it's too hot to run at 3, but I have to shower and get ready for class. So wala na akong choice, di ba? Di na ako makatakbo sa gabi. So I said I have to wake up early. But I also had an 8 o'clock class. And I don't like to run early in the morning kasi I move slowly in the morning. Baka malate ako sa class. Pero sa kagustuhan ko to stay fit, I really made an effort na maligo tuloy. na tumakbo ng maagang maaga. Kaya ko sinabing naligo kasi after that maliligo pa ako. Yun yung isang concern ko. Maliligo pa ako. So naligo na lang ako on campus de balde na minsan wala pang tubig. So kailangan may nakatabi sa balde para maset ko yung araw ko. Naka-workout ako sa isang araw. So that's prioritization. You call that prioritization. And then I think the next important chunk there is to be able to digest what do you mean by prioritization within the day, within the week, within the month, and within the year. So the example I'll use now is as a mother. How will I now prioritize my work? I'm now a mother and I still want to stay fit because I wanted to lose some of the fat that I gained during the pregnancy, which is normal, di ba? So paano ngayon yun? So I have to decide, every day ba ako pwedeng mag-exercise? There was a time na hindi pwedeng everyday. When I just started breastfeeding, hindi ko rin kaya. Puyat na puyat ako. I was so puyat. I had low energy. So the first month, it was very difficult for me to start. I did start exercising, pero hindi pa siya everyday at hindi pa siya run. I think I was moving around a lot sa house, just taking care of my baby, pero yung run started later. Tapos, magdi-decide ka na gaano kahaba yung goal mo for a specific goal kasi baka dati kaya mong gawin yun in 1 month. Ngayon, kailangan mo i-spread out because there are other responsibilities you have to take care of. So, ganun talaga yun. So, you break down these priorities in chunks. Icha-chunk mo siya ngayon para alam mo na ito yung hours at work ko, hindi ko to pwedeng baguhin because I'm required to be at work this much. Yung time ko with my child, flexible yan. What is your priority? For you to be with your child or your child to be with you? Those are two different things. So I had to also ask myself na, since I had a mom who was very willing to be a full-time lola, to also take care of my child, then I had to accept the help that was available to me na yung need ko to be with my child is different from my child to be with a loving human being, and in particular, a loving woman figure, in that case, me or my mom. So, hinati ko ngayon yung time na yon sa mami ko kasi pwede naman niyang gawin yung iba kong gagawin as a mom dahil ako, nagwo-work ako. So, at the time na, yun nga, nagbe-breastfeed ako, iiwan ko yung baby ko sa mami ko, tapos takbo muna ako saglit, 30 minutes lang, kasi kailangan ko bumalik agad dahil unpredictable yung feeding hours ng baby. So, you have to really divide your time. So, those are determining what are your priorities and dividing your time by the day, by the week, by the month, by the year. So, for example, as a law student, yun nga, I would run long hours on regular days. But if I have an exam coming up, then you shorten your run, right? So are you not prioritizing your fitness? No, you are, but you're just making those adjustments. And that's my next step. What are those adjustments? Be willing to adjust because life is not static, di ba? Many things happen. As a woman and a caregiver, my dad was very sick. So I was taking care of my dad. But having said that, naging caregiver din naman yung brothers ko. Di naman sila babae. Tulong-tulong kami. So mag-a-adjust din for my own sanity, for my own well-being. siningit ko pa rin yung pagtatakbo ko during the time that my dad was sick. Kasi parang akong mababaliw sa sadness na yung tatay ko who was a very strong, literally strong, he was lifting weights into his 60s. He was also running and he was a senator. So strong siya in every aspect of life. Biglang in front of me is very frail, he's sickly, he can barely take care of himself. So it's very emotionally stressful for me. So I still wanted to have that time for myself to run, to bike, and sinisingit-singit ko na lang yon kasi nga, kasama ako dun sa caregiving team ng daddy ko, which included my mom and my brother. So those adjustments are very important. And that's why when I became a senator, the concept of Pinay in action was born because I wanted to share this advocacy of mine that we can get the job done. We can do it. You don't have to limit your dreams by the fact that I have to work to earn a living. Maybe you're not even passionate about your job. So that's not even a goal, but you do have to work. You do have to earn a living. So while you're still finding yourself, you have to work. And maybe part of finding yourself is taking another course so that you can learn what other areas of interest you have. It could also mean taking time to talk to different people who you consider your mentors or mga inspirational, like you have different titos or titas or former teachers na you want to talk to them and explore ano yung career opportunities dun sa field nila. So that takes time away again from your work. Instead of just going home, going out with your friends, you're gonna now take time to do these things. So now you're going to strategize as well. So yun yung concept ko sa Pinay in Action, to really be able to share with people, but mostly women nga ang followers ko, on how you can get things done as a Pinay in Action. So for now, that Pinay in Action has really grown into an advocacy arm of mine outside of my work in the Senate. Around the time I became a senator, which is 20 years ago, I started these runs for women only. Why? So yun yung parang, I would say, maybe the maiden project of Pinay in Action. It was called the Pinay in Action Runs, precisely all women run. Why? Because I wanted to give women the space to be their own person. Kasi a lot of women at that time, okay, this is 20 years ago, guys, are interested in running but would be intimidated because there's mostly men running. When I started running as a teenager, ang kasama ko talaga mostly men, mostly. So I wanted to have this race. It was all women. And wow, there were so many women who joined the race because that they felt that it's their safe space. Sila lang to. They don't have to compete with men. They're all women. So that was one of the first projects of Pinay in Action. But it continued to grow, and beyond supporting women in sports, so I do women's running, I do biking. Pinay in Action supports women in football. We have volleyball clinics, and now we have paddle, which is my main sport. It's also used as a advocacy arm to just empower women in general. So we do a lot of seminars all over the country that just support women. In the province, a lot of the women I talk to are young mothers. So we empower them and teach them how to be the basics of baby care, kasi they're young mothers, new mothers, breastfeeding, which is a very strong advocacy of mine. To just quickly tie it up sa work ko, I've actually passed I'm the author of the 105 maternity leave law. So parang yung experience ko as a mom, I kept talking about breastfeeding while I was a mom and all that. I've translated it into laws that support women. And this is extended maternity leave para a mom can have more time with their baby. And it's a paid leave. So yun, so Pinay in Action really was born out of my personal experiences and my desire to share with women what they can do in their lives to achieve their goals, regardless of kung nasan sila sa buhay nila. And many times for the women I get to talk to, it's balancing their lives as moms. For those naman who are not moms, it's also balancing their lives with all the other interests that they have. So, yan ang Pinay in Action. It's my dream that every woman finds in their heart that they are a Pinay in Action, that they can get things done. And if that's not happening right now, like I said, you can break it down to find out how you can make it happen, whether it's 3 months from now, 3 years from now, because it can really happen. It's never too late to start. So, what are your challenges? What day-to-day activities stress you out the most that you feel that I can only do this one thing? Ano yun? Ano yun? Like, are you capable of dividing your time or not? Do you feel like you can only do one thing, this one thing? Share your experiences, and maybe some of our other viewers will give their comments. I'll be happy to do the same, because we all face our own challenges, but we may have similar experiences that will help us learn from each other. So that's my Pinay in Action series. I don't want to say episode because there's so much to talk about, to empower women to be the best version of themselves, to pursue their dreams and even change their dreams. So those are all topics that we can discuss another time. I hope you enjoyed.